see, I am actually here with Karen Von Kay, who will be presenting in just a few minutes. We are sharing a computer and a screen, but I will go ahead and get started. What I'm going to be talking about first is our brand new NAZADA website. It's been over a year in the works, and we're very proud that it is now officially available to the public. I have just a couple of general comments before I start doing a little bit of an orientation. First of all, like any website, this will constantly be changing. There are things that we already know that are already out of date on the website, and so those things will be changing, but please visit it frequently. And we hope that it is helpful to you. That's the whole point. The other thing I would like to say is that this is nazada.org. So NAZADA.org, not com, .org. And with that, I'm going to start by reviewing the home page. Okay, so this is the homepage of our website. I'm just going to start at the top here and point out, first of all, you see the login. Ignore that. As you can see, it's for NAZADA board members only. So most of you will have no need to go into it, and you certainly do not need to log in to use our website. The second thing I'd like to point out is up here in the right-hand corner where it says, do you need help immediately? Click here, which I'm going to do. You'll see that is an active link. And what this does is this takes you directly to the Alzheimer's Association website, to the page for their 24/7 helpline. The reason that we've included this right on the homepage of our website is because NAZADA is not available 24/7, but the Alzheimer's Association is. I have called this helpline number 800-272-3900. And it does connect you with a live person. These are trained individuals who work for the Alzheimer's Association. You truly can call them 24 hours a day and you can ask them any question. You can just vent. You can let them know what you need. It is a marvelous resource. And so again, that yellow button on our website takes you right to that page. Okay, so now back to the home page. I'm just going to scroll down here quickly so you can see what the home page looks like. This general information here, I'm not going to click on. However, it's pretty much self-explanatory. The About Us section just gives you a little bit of history about who we are and what we do, our current board members. The Get Involved is a link to attend meetings, volunteer, attend activities, and that sort of thing. Same thing with events. This next box I will get back to in just a minute. It's probably the key on this homepage because it is the link to resources. And that is the main purpose of this website. As I said, I'll get into it in just a minute. And to finish, at the bottom of every page on the website, you'll see this large purple box. And a couple of things to point out to you. Over here, it says follow us. These are the links to our social media, which Jen is going to be talking about in just a little while. Our Facebook page, our Instagram, and our YouTube pages. It also says here, subscribe to our newsletter. This is something for the future. We do not yet have an online newsletter, but we will. You will certainly get more information about that when it's available. Ways to give, and this link gets you into possibilities for donations to NAZADA. And I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But again, just to reorient you, I am on our homepage, okay? The main navigation tabs are here. Again, this is About Us, our history. Get Involved. This drop-down would take you to information about attending our monthly meetings, which are the third Thursday of every month. They are now held virtually. If you click this link, it will take you to the meeting Zoom link with the dates of meetings. You could also click on volunteer, and that will give you some information on who to contact if you're interested in volunteering with us for a number of our different activities. And I will talk a little bit more about that as we go along. Again, donation links I'm going to come back to. Events. I will just say one general comment about events, and that is that this section is really a work in progress. We do have some events posted on the website. However, this section needs a little bit of reworking, so it's a little more user-friendly. But again, know that in the future, if you want to see what's coming up, this would be the place to go. Resources, as I said, is what I want to really focus on for now. So you can see the drop-down box under resources. The first section about Alzheimer's and dementia, it is a link that takes you to another page on our website. I'm not going to go there now to save time, but just to let you know, if you do click on this link, it takes you to information, just general information. What is Alzheimer's? How does it differ from dementia? What are the signs of early Alzheimer's and dementia? And that page really takes you to links to the Alzheimer's Association and other vetted organizations with really good information. The COVID-19 information link, same thing. It takes you to a different page on our website with links to the CDC, to the county information, the Arizona Department of Health, so that you can get right to their websites to see what the most recent information is about COVID. Support groups. I am going to click on this link, and you will see that it does take you to another page. Here's one thing to remember. When you click on a link here and then you see something change, but you don't see what you're looking for, you have to scroll down. Don't forget to do that. The information is there. You just have to scroll down. So these are the two support groups in the Flagstaff area. The first is the NACOG Area Agency on Aging Caregiver Support Group. There is information here on this group. I will tell you that my understanding is that right now this support group is actually on a little bit of a hiatus, but you can certainly contact NACOG Area Agency on Aging to find out more about this group. The second support group is sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association, and you can see that this group is meeting the second and fourth Tuesday at 10 a.m. Both of these groups are meeting virtually at this point in time. Because this second group is sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association, you do need to call them in order to register. This flyer, which you can actually click on and see in a little bit larger font, you see the Flagstaff support group, but you also see the Prescott, the VA, the Prescott Valley, and the Sedona support groups as well. Again, all sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association. So I will go back up to the top, and now I will go to links to other resources. As I said, this is the main focus of our website. And there we go. I saw something change, but I've got to scroll down to get to the information. This page has all of the resources that we know of in a variety of different agencies and types of services, all for people who are caring for people with dementia, all types of different dementias. You see at the top here, these yellow boxes. As you can see, these are links. And basically all that it does is it just takes you down the page. So if I click on tips for caregivers, it just gets you down the page to the caregiver tips, okay? As long as I'm here, I'll just point out one thing, that these happen to all be links to these different agencies, online resources, and that sort of thing. What I'm going to say in general, and this is true for the whole website, is that any organizations, any caregiver information that we post on our website, you should know that we have vetted that site, that resource. As we know, there's a lot of information available on the web, more and more, it seems, every week. And we also know that a lot of it, frankly, is junk. And so we are trying to make sure that as we come upon new information, that if we think it's worthwhile, if we think that it's reasonable, if we think that it's accurate, then we will post it on our website. So that is true for everything on this page. The other thing I'd like to point out to you is that some of these are links to other sites. Something like this is just a name and a phone number. And that will be true with some of the other sections on this page. One thing that I will ask anybody in the community, anyone in our audience, if you know of an agency or a resource that we do not have, please send it to us, and I'll tell you at the end how to do that. If you happen to know one of these individuals or one of these groups, say, for instance, hospice palliative care, the home health agencies, if you happen to know that any of these agencies have websites, this is something we will be doing. We will add their website with a link so you can get directly to their website. So again, all kinds of information. I'm going to scroll back up here to the top. You can see all of the different categories that we have. At this point in time, I'm going to scroll down to other resources. Okay. Again, most of these are links, again, to other organizations and other resources that we have vetted that we think are helpful to you. And then the last section here, other education opportunities. We do sessions like this once every quarter, but there's a plethora of information through the Alzheimer's Association and through Banner Health, and I'll be getting into that in just a few minutes. Okay, let me go ahead now and start by talking about these links right here. So the Alzheimer's Association is probably the biggest and most comprehensive. It's the one we're most familiar with. So if I just click on that link, what it does is it takes you to the homepage for the National Alzheimer's Association website. Again, this website is dense. There is a lot of good information here. I'm just going to point out a couple of highlights for you. First of all, if you've never been to the Alzheimer's Association website, what you will notice is that their Walk to End Alzheimer's is their biggest fundraising activity of the year. And so they often have this banner right at the beginning because they want it right in front of your face in case you want to join one of their walks. Up here along the top, though, a couple of things to point out to you. In this white navigation bar at the top, I want to point out this professionals link. I'm not going to click on it now, but for any of you in the community who are medical or social service professionals, please click on this link because it will take you to all kinds of very helpful resources for doctors, nurses, therapists, other kinds of medical professionals. It really is extremely helpful. So I wanted to point that out to you. For anybody, if you click on this first tab, Alzheimer's and Dementia, I will do this briefly. This is the section of their website that has all the general information about Alzheimer's disease. What is dementia? What they refer to as the 10 signs. If you're seeing these signs in your loved one, this might mean that a dementia is of concern, and this is when you need to contact your physician. Stages of Alzheimer's, facts and figures, all kinds of different information. And again, if you scroll down, oh, sorry, that's about it on this page. Anyway, this is hugely helpful. If you click on your chapter, okay, our chapter happens to be the Desert Southwest. Doesn't make sense when we're in Flagstaff, but that is the chapter that we are a member of. Okay, if we go here, okay, Again, there's their walk. And here's information on our chapter. So events in our area, again, volunteer opportunities for them, news, okay, and all of the rest of this information. I did want to point out here, education. And I hope this link is going to take me where I want to go. There'll be an easier way to get to this information. But I did want to show you that for our chapter, you can see links to the Alzheimer's Association education classes. And I'll get back to this all in just a minute. Again, I would spend a lot of time, if I were you, looking on the Alzheimer's Association website. If you want to go there directly, it's very easy. It's alz.org. That's alz.org. Or from our website, you can just click on the link. Next is the Banner Alzheimer's Institute, because they are local in our state. They also have a great amount of information and resources for us. If you click on this link, Banner Alzheimer's Information, this brings you to the Banner Alzheimer's Institute webpage, and it's basically just information on Alzheimer's disease and dementia. If you click on this link, it really takes you to their page that shows you location, their doctors, how to make appointments at Banner, and that sort of thing. However, as I said, if you're looking for online education, caregiver education classes, these are your two best links right here. If you click on the Alzheimer's Association education classes, it takes you right to the online education programs. Okay, and there they are, and this is how you register. If I go back and Banner Health, this takes you directly to Banner's classes, support groups, and other events. And you can see of all the Banner classes and events, this page is already filtered for Alzheimer's and other dementias. So you can click on any of these, get more information, and register. Okay, now I will quickly go back up to that main navigation bar as fast as my little finger will go. So I've covered a lot of these main navigation links. Just real quickly to finish up, donation. At this point in time, we have three, remember to scroll down, we have actually 4 opportunities for people to donate to us. We are signed up with Amazon Smile. This is a link that takes you directly there. We are also signed up with Arizona Gives and Network for Good. You can click on these links, takes you directly to their sites. We are listed as a receiving charitable donation site. You can certainly also mail checks to us, and there is the information right there. Okay. We also have a blog. We have a few articles already posted, and we'll certainly be looking to do more of that. And lastly, I just wanted to show you contact us. Again, scroll down. We have a new email address, info@nazada.org, and we have a new phone number, which is toll-free, 855-629-2321. And those are all of my comments, other than a couple of general ones. If you are interested in getting more information, if you see that there's information we need on our website, please send it to us by email, info@nazada.org. If you are interested in volunteering for us, email us or call this number. We would be happy to talk with you. As a matter of fact, we are recruiting right now for new volunteers and members to NAZADA. So we'd be very happy to talk to you about any of those opportunities. And with that, I am going to say, if you can please hold your questions to the end. that would be real helpful for all of us so we can get through all of our presentations. And as I said, with that, I'm going to be sliding the computer over to Karen Von Kay, who will be talking about Caregivers, which is a marvelous resource. I'm just going to make sure you're on camera.
Hi, thank you for joining us today. My name is Karen, and I'm speaking to you as a former caregiver for my mother who had dementia and Parkinson's. At that time, I didn't know what I didn't know, and there weren't resources available to help me through this process. The same kind of challenges that any of you might be going through right now. Recently, I came across a terrific resource. It's called Caregivers. That's all one word. So let's go to the NAZADA website, click on resources, go to links to other resources. What's happening here?
It's cranking. You're fine.
I'm sorry?
You scrolled out.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And now the second column over from the right, go to tips for caregivers, and you will see Dementia Caregivers, the YouTube channel. And below that, there's the Dementia Survival Guide, which I'll show you in a moment. But first, we're going to go to the YouTube channel. This takes you to the link for Dr. Natalie Edmonds. She's a geropsychologist, and she is everything about dementia. And I think her information is really terrific. You'll see in the top right, free Dementia Survival Guide. This is a wonderful resource, and I encourage you to download it, save it, and read it. It's a quick read, and it's chock full of a lot of very useful tips. Dr. Edmonds has a brief video, and she has a series of videos that are categorized by what area might be important to you. Let's come down here. And in the bottom right of each video, you'll see four numbers, the minutes and the seconds. That's how long that will take. And also, if you scroll over to the right, you'll see even more opportunities for you to check things out. The titles are short and to the point, so you should be able to make appropriate selections based on your interests and your needs. Now, because these are free, sometimes an ad may pop up. Please don't be concerned about that, because within a few seconds on the right side, you'll see a little box pop up that said skip ads, and you can simply click on that and move on to the rest of the video. So caring for yourself as a caregiver is the most important thing that you can do to ensure your health and well-being so that you will be there for the person that you're caring for. It is a fact that caregivers who do not take care of their physical and emotional well-being tend to predecease the person they're caring for at an alarming rate. So I want to show you this one in particular, dementia, self-care, and support. These are all about tips for you as a caregiver, and you can see the different topics. Struggling with your decision to put your loved one in a facility. So as a caregiver, everything falls on you, and it's very, very stressful. Well, Dr. Edmonds has a closed group on Facebook. If you don't have a Facebook account, I strongly urge you to consider getting one solely for the purpose of joining this closed group. And I'm going to go to my Facebook page. Okay. And you'll see over here on the right, about 3/4 of the way down, an invite button. And that's where you would click and ask to be invited to be part of this group. It is the most amazing group of people who are caregivers, healthcare providers, people like me who have an interest in providing information to caregivers. And there are all types of stories that can be shared on a variety of topics. It is very open. You can discuss your personal feelings about your situation. You can ask questions about challenges that you may be having with bathing and showering issues, or just have a place to vent, and it's available 24/7. Every response I have seen is kind, supportive, and empathetic, and people are very willing to share what worked for them in a similar circumstance. So as you can see, people make comments here, and they often talk about the person that they're caring for as their LOWD, that's their loved one with dementia, or their HWD, husband with dementia, maybe LOWA, my loved one with Alzheimer's, and there are others. If you go to this site and you see different acronyms and you're unsure of what it means, you can simply ask, and people are always willing to share information. Finally, once you are set up with Careblazers, Dr. Edmonds will send you brief emails about upcoming events. Some are free and some have a fee. Careblazers is a wonderful resource, and I hope you will consider taking advantage of what is being offered on Careblazers YouTube and the Facebook site.
Okay, I will stop sharing my screen. Thank you very much. And now I believe Jen Dickinson will be our next speaker, who will be talking about our social media.
Yes, thank you, Sandy. So my name is Jennifer Dickinson. I have been active with NAZADA for the past year, and I assist in maintaining the social media pages for our organization. So I want to talk a little bit about why social media is important. So in today's society, the use of social media has become necessary in daily activity. Social media is typically used for social interactions and access to news and information and decision making. But it's also a valuable communication tool, not only with others locally, but worldwide. It's used to share, create, and spread information. And at NAZADA, we use our social media as a platform to educate, empower, and support caregivers. So why is this important for caregivers? You know, it's important for caregivers to feel like they have a community who supports them, someone who is researching topics and posting relevant information, someone who is engaged and able to interact and provide resources. Our social media team seeks out the most relevant articles from trusted sources. We also look for free events and opportunities from professionals willing to educate others on topics related to caring for a loved one with Alzheimer's or dementia. What's nice is we found blogs that we also post from family members with personal stories to share. Again, it's to help other caregivers feel encouraged and inspired and not alone. So good versus bad, you know, as with any public platform, some negative or rude comments may be posted from time to time. So our social media team does a great job of identifying inappropriate comments and removing them from the site. And again, we just want this space to be one of encouragement and engagement and enlightenment. We do have 3 platforms. We have Facebook, which I'm showing right now. We have Instagram, and we have YouTube. So we routinely update these sites with training opportunities and relevant articles. So I'm just going to show a little bit about our Facebook page. So to find it, you can search Facebook for Northern Arizona Alzheimer's and Dementia Alliance, and then you should see the page pop up here. Let me scroll down. So what we ask is that you like our page, you can follow our page, and you can also share articles that we post. The more articles that are shared or liked or followed, just the more information that can be spread out, you know, to the people who really need articles, who need to be lifted up a little bit. So I hope you take some time to explore our social media platforms. I'm going to scroll down just a little bit just to show some of the articles that we've posted. And every article has a link. So this one right here is about a free educational opportunity on October 20th, and it shows you how to register. This is a nice article right here, 5 kinds of caregiver guilt and how to overcome that. So what you would do is you would just click the link and then the article would pop up. So I think at the end, everyone will get an email with all of our social media links, and everything is available through our website as well. You just need to click and it will, it'll shoot you over to whatever social media page you would like to view. And that is all I have. So I'm not sure who's next in presenting.
I think it's me, but we can go ahead and stop a moment and see if anybody has any questions. We have kind of been flying through most of this stuff and we have plenty of time left. Does anyone have any questions about what we've been showing so far? All right. Well, then I will go ahead and move on. I'm going to share my screen. So, oops. Huh. I don't seem to be able to share my screen right now. Give me 1 minute, please. There we go. All right, so I just wanted to talk to you all a little bit today about how to find information that may be not linked to our website. And so in order to do that, I'm going to search for activities and things like that that you can do with your loved ones. So as we've been talking about throughout this presentation, you know, the internet is a huge wealth of resources, but it can also be a place that some not so nice people live. And the last thing we want anyone to do is either get a virus on their computer, get in a Facebook group where people are rude. And so one thing you can do is you can, well, let me go ahead and I'm going to search for activities for people with dementia. And clearly I cannot speak and type at the same time. And so that takes me to this page, and you can see these first couple of results for Google. They say ads right before them. That means those are paid advertisements. So a lot of times I will just skip past those, and after it says ad, then you can get down to other pages that are coming up. And one thing I like to talk to people about is that if you look at the web address, the last 3 letters where it says .org, or a lot of times it'll say .com, and then some other choices are .edu or .gov. In general, the ones that say .org, .gov, and .edu tend to be more trustworthy than the .com. It doesn't mean that all .com video websites are bad. It just means that you should probably be slightly more wary of them. So for instance, this page right here, www.alz.org, this is off the Alzheimer's Association. I trust the Alzheimer's Association, so I feel like it's okay to go ahead and click on it. And when you go to this, you can see this page has activities listed. It has a space for different topics of activities. So outdoor, indoor, personal, kitchen, and family. And if you click on these, it will take you directly to that. But if you scroll down, it also takes you there. So these are some ideas for things you can do with your loved one who has Alzheimer's or dementia. And these are the things that are outside. So things like take a walk, rake leaves, play catch, sweep the porch, set up a picnic. And then there's a section for doing things that you can do inside, listening to music, looking at photos, completing a puzzle, go through, identify the states on a map, watch a sporting event, read the newspaper, play a card game. These are just nice personal things you can do for someone. You could maybe paint somebody's nails, give them a hand massage, make a family tree. There's things you can do in the kitchen, like bake cookies or bread, wash dishes, put silverware away. And then there's another section for celebrating family traditions. So these are all just different ideas for different holidays that you may have had throughout the years as a tradition within your family. And I also wanted to say before I get too far into this, all the websites that I visit right now, I'm going to send, after this, I'm going to send out a sheet that has all links to all these different websites. So if you're interested in anything, like I said, these aren't necessarily linked on our website, the NAZADA.org, but I will send this out afterwards. And it'll also have links to NAZADA.org and the website Careblazers that Karen was talking about, as well as our social media pages. So another website I found is, hold on, I have to move that, is from the National Institute on Aging. And you can see earlier I was talking about the .com, .gov, .edu. You can see this is a .gov website. That means it's from the government, which tends to be a little more trustworthy. And this website is adapting activities for people with Alzheimer's disease. And so it just talks about trying to do activities with people with Alzheimer's and how you can adapt them to work with people who have Alzheimer's or other dementias. So this is some tips for going out, planning ahead. These are some tips for eating out, some things to consider. These have tips for being at the restaurant, what you can do to make your visit more enjoyable. Has a section for things like going to church, traveling overnight, so visiting family and friends. So you can see there's a lot of different resources on this website for doing things with people with dementia. I also found this website. This is a huge list of dementia activities, and this just has a variety of activities to do with your loved one, building with Legos. There's different, some of these have, you can see like this one, this is Christmas Carol matching game. I'm assuming if I click on this, it will lead me to so this is a printable version of the Christmas Carol matching game that you can probably download this game, print it out, and then play it. You do need to be careful with downloading things off the internet because you can end up with a virus on your computer sometimes. So this is a fidget quilt or activity mat. This is, or an apron. This is something that I've learned about recently. Some people like to either buy or make an apron with that might have different little fidget activities connected to it, like a zipper. You can connect buttons so that people can button or snap something. And it's just something that you can put on at the apron on your loved one, and it might give them something to do with their hands, keep them occupied for a little while. If there's something that you need to do, like make dinner, you might be able to let them use that, and it might keep them busy a little bit for a while. So this is a Pinterest board that has a bunch of these different activities on it. You can see here's a pillow. There's one with a key. You can use a key and a lock. So there's all kinds of different ideas. And again, you can use the internet to purchase one of these, or you could look for a pattern. There's lots of different patterns for people to make one of your own if you're handy with a sewing machine. So those are all available. There's also different games that you can play, ideas for games that you can play with your loved one who has Alzheimer's or dementia. So this one is 10 fun no-fail activities. And sometimes an ad will pop up and you always want to look for the X and click out of it. So one thing people have found is that sometimes folding towels or sheets is something that's pretty easy for someone who has dementia, and it's actually useful if you need towels folded if you just wash them, but it's something that's easy for someone to do and allows them to feel helpful. Creating a memory box, tying and untying knots. So you can see this person just has like a big rope and they tie a bunch of knots in it and let the person untie those. Creating a pasta necklace. You can have someone just thread yarn through the pasta. This is just a box of fabrics. So there's all kinds of different ideas. And see this one right here, this is a puzzle cube. So this one, if you click on it, it will show you how to buy this if it's something that you're interested in. And then of course, like playing cards or doing puzzles. I also found the same website, but this one is for crafts. And this is just crafts for seniors who have dementia. They talk about always keeping safety in mind. So not giving people like really sharp scissors or anything that they could choke on. And then you can see here, there's just a variety of different crafts. Some things you might not have thought of, like if someone, especially someone who may have worked in plumbing or had done some plumbing in their life, they might find something like this interesting. And also with different hardware and tools, like that might not be something you think of, but somebody with dementia might find it interesting to just sit and screw some nuts and bolts together. There's Play-Doh, and this has a recipe for Play-Doh. And you can see there's all kinds of different craft ideas. And then I wanted to show you a page. This is a page for online activities. And so if you have an iPad or a laptop computer, these have links to some some online activities like online puzzles. These have this has a link right here to dementia-friendly jigsaws. And so that's something you can see this woman here playing. I'm not going to play this video, but if someone might be interested in that, there's these really cool coloring websites. And so you can basically, the website gives you a color, and if you or it gives you a coloring page, and then if you have an iPad, you can just use your finger to color the coloring page. Of course, YouTube. Karen showed us that one, the specific to Careblazers. That's more for caregivers of people with dementia. But there are a ton of videos on YouTube. If your loved one likes cats, you can find about 5 million cat videos, and those can be really fun for people. A lot of them are really silly. They might make the person laugh. There's different videos, like say your loved one likes to sew or quilt. You can find videos about sewing and quilting. You can see this one is just a bunch of little babies on roller skates. So there are a lot of funny videos that you can find. And then, of course, there's online games like solitaire. They can do that. And then music playlists, which I'm going to talk more about right now. So basically, if you go to YouTube and you just put in youtube.com, depending on what type of music your loved one enjoys, you can search through and find playlists that correspond to the type of music that your loved one likes. And we know that music is something that people respond really strongly to, and especially music from people's youth. So if you can really think about what kind of music your loved one likes, a lot of times they will respond really well to that. And let's just say, you can see I've already was looking at this. Let's just say your loved one really likes music from the 50s. You can put in 50s playlist, and it'll search for you. And then it comes up with a bunch of these different playlists of songs from the 50s. So if you click on that, I'm going to pause it because I don't think I shared my sound, but I wanted to show you. So over here on the side, these are all the different songs that are in this playlist. So it has Elvis Presley, Jailhouse Rock, Bobby Darin, Dream Lover, Folsom Prison Blues, Take 5. So you can look through those and see if those might like. Let's say your person really likes jazz music. You can type in jazz playlist, and it'll pop up a bunch of different jazz playlists. And these are things, so basically the benefit of a playlist is that you can just start it and it will continue to play. After the first video, another video will play. Your person might like classical music, and you can type in classical music playlist. And then a bunch of different classical music playlists pop up. And then you can choose through those and decide which one you think would be of most interest to your loved one. And then I just wanted to take one last minute and talk about, show you some links to some communication tips. So this website, again, from the National Institute on Aging, talks about changes in communication skills. And this is really for it has tips for a caregiver on how to better communicate with their loved one. So this has things like make eye contact, be aware of your tone, encourage two-way conversations as long as possible. And then it offers tips to encourage the person to communicate with you, and then tips to speak effectively with a person who has Alzheimer's. And then, there's here, be direct, specific, and positive. So these gives you examples of things to say. So it says, let's try it this way, instead of pointing out a mistake. So instead of saying like, don't do that, you can say, let's try it this way. Please do this instead of don't do this. Thanks for helping, even if the results aren't perfect. So this just has a lot of different tips, and you can read through this to help if you are a caregiver. But then there's also a page here that gives tips for how people can talk to someone with dementia on the telephone. So this is really good to share with family members. Isolation is one of the biggest problems with people who are caregivers of people with dementia and the person with dementia. People become uncomfortable. They don't know how to communicate with someone once they have dementia. And so this really talks about how to better communicate with someone for dementia. So it's a really good resource for family members who might not live in the same city or town, or maybe they do, but they just don't want to come over. Maybe they're worried about COVID. So this really helps talk about different tips for people who want to communicate over the phone. And then the last one I have here is a website that talks about how to communicate on virtual platforms, which we all know have become part of our lives, and we're okay with that, but it can be difficult. And so this website here has 9 tips for communicating virtually with a loved one. And you can see with those, obviously you have the benefit of having the video. And so that might be nice. But yes, there's different tips here for how to communicate with someone virtually. And so again, please feel free to share these with family members, and hopefully that will help them become more comfortable speaking and communicating with the person with dementia. And then they can, then they will hopefully, spend more time talking to them, and thus decreasing the isolation that people feel. And again, I will send after this website, or after this presentation, probably sometime next week, I will send out the list that has all of those that has all of those different links that I just went through. And with that, we have time for questions, if anybody has any. And I don't know, so Mike, he messaged me, and he did point out that at the Banner Institute, there's a link to find and join research studies if that is something that anyone is interested in. There's oftentimes clinical trials for people with Alzheimer's, and I will go ahead and put that in the chat. That's the link to clinical trials.
And Candace, if I could just add a couple of comments. This is Sandy again, for those of you who might not have cameras on and that sort of thing. One thing that I would recommend, again, you can get to these other organizations through our website, but primarily the Alzheimer's Association, the Banner Alzheimer's Institute, and also several of the other organizations that we have listed on our website. Subscribe to their newsletters, because that's honestly how I get a lot of my information that then either gets to the website or gets to Jen to post on our social media. And I know, none of us like getting a lot of emails, and sometimes our inboxes can get flooded, but I would say if anything's worth it, getting the newsletters from the Alzheimer's Association, Banner, and some of these other organizations is really, really very helpful. And the other thing that I forgot to say at the very beginning, I am remiss in not thanking not only our NAZADA members and our website team, but also our website was created with us and for us by the Visual Design Lab at NAU. We worked with them last year with several students in that lab, and they were just fantastic. And everything that you saw today on the NAZADA website is thanks to them. So I just wanted to make sure that I gave them credit where credit is due.
Well, if there's no further questions, we can absolutely end a little bit early. And just so everyone knows, I'm sorry I didn't say it in the beginning, but we did record this session. So if anyone wants, we have a YouTube page now for NAZADA, and we will be uploading this recording to that YouTube page. So you will, if there's anything that you wanted to go through and watch again, or if you wanted to pass this on to anybody for them to see, friends or family members, then you can do that as well. And if you have any questions after you get off of this presentation, you can email NAZADA info@nazada.org, and we will get back to you and answer your questions. Thank you for coming, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much.